in the building bright and early, man. Bright and early. Hit that like button.
Hours after President Trump invoked an 18th century wartime law, alleged members of Venezuela's prison gang, Tren de Aragua, arriving in El Salvador. The Salvadorian president sharing this dramatic video on X depicting TDA and MS-13 gang members hauled off into a plane, thrown into a bus, and then their heads shaved as they're now being held in an infamous terrorism confinement center. A senior Trump administration official telling News Nation in total, 261 illegal aliens were deported to El Salvador, of which 137 were deported using that Alien Enemies Act. The timing comes as a federal judge actually blocked deportation flights after Trump invoked that law from 1798. But the Trump administration is firing back now, saying it did not violate that ruling because the planes were already in international airspace. News Nation's Jorge Ventura live in San Diego with what we're learning about those deportations at this hour. Jorge.
Well, Alex, a senior Trump administration official confirming to News Nation that the rap sheets of those illegal aliens deported to El Salvador yesterday do include kidnapping, sexual abuse of a child, robbery, and aggravated assault on a police officer. Now, according to El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele, the country will be receiving 238 suspected Tren de Aragua gang members and 23 suspected MS-13 gang members who were immediately transferred to the country's mega prison. Footage from El Salvador's government shows a high-security transfer with shackled prisoners stumbling forward as heavily armed officers push them along. The wrists, ankles, and waist are tightly bound, forcing them to show in short...
Rude awakening. That's a rude awakening. They let them know off the break. This is, you're not in Kansas anymore. Soon as they get off the plane, they greet them with a straight rude awakening. I love it. You're not in Kansas anymore.
Restricted steps. On the tarmac, riot police stand shoulder to shoulder, gripping their batons as helicopters hover overhead, scanning for any disturbances. The men are loaded one by one onto special units and military buses, their heads forced down as officers keep them under strict control. Sirens blare as a convoy of armored vehicles, escorted by special forces, transport them straight to the notorious Seaside mega prison.
Yo, could you imagine going from like Aurora, Colorado, where Democrats just let you do anything? You're taking over apartment buildings, running around, just doing whatever the hell you want. And then boom, you in the El Salvadorian mega prison. Just like that. That's gotta be such a rude awakening, man. Nightmare.
Prison, the same facility where El Salvador's government has locked up tens of thousands of gang members in recent years. Inside the prison walls, the men have their heads shaved in assembly line fashion while guards stand over them.
Damn. Straight up just shaving heads. No resistance. No resistance. There's no. It doesn't look like anybody's clinching or holding or tussling with these guards. Nothing. Just straight do what you want. Shave my head. Pause.
For them barking orders. Cameras capture the moment they're wearing white prison uniforms before being marched, hands behind their backs, into tightly packed holding cells. Back in Washington, D.C., a federal judge ruled that deporting migrants without due process violated long-standing U.S. asylum protections. The White House pushing back, saying they didn't violate a court order. Quote, the order came too late, and illegals were already in international airspace. The El Salvadoran president posting, oopsie, too late.
Oh shit. Yeah, man. Turn away from crime, young Latinos. Turn away from crime.
His government confirming the inmates will remain in El Salvador with no plans to return them to the U.S. U.S. officials are backing the move. Secretary Marco Rubio called it a fair price for American taxpayers. And for those 137 illegal aliens deported under the Aliens Enemy Act, that does allow the U.S. government to deport those individuals without trial, Alex.
Jorge, we're also following up on the USS Gravely. That's that guided missile destroyer deployed yesterday to the U.S. Northern Command Area of Responsibility. That marks a major shift in border security efforts. What's the latest that you're hearing on this deployment, and what can you tell us about the broader strategy to secure that border using that destroyer?
Well, Alex, this comes as the U.S. military continues to expand their role when it comes to border security under the Trump administration. Now, the USS Gravely did depart yesterday from the Naval Weapons Station Yorktown. It is headed to the U.S. territorial waters covering continental U.S., Alaska, Canada, and Mexico. Now, the goal here is to counter the illegal immigration, weapons trafficking, and transnational crime in U.S. waters, according to U.S. Northern Command. U.S. Northern Command Commander General also says this deployment does support President Trump's executive order on straightening the border and enforcement at sea. The Department of Defense calls this a major shift, giving the U.S. Navy a direct role in preventing crime before it reaches American shores. Alex.
By land and sea, securing the border. That's News Nation's Jorge Ventura. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com.
Yeah, that was wonderful, man. That was wonderful. That was wonderful.
Hours after President Trump invoked an
That was wonderful, man. That was a joy to watch. Get him out of here. Get those motherfuckers out of here. Get the stuff. Get the stuff.
Police in Tennessee are looking for a group of thieves, and their weapon of choice, you see it right there in the middle of your screen, 2 pythons. Authorities in Madison County sharing these pictures and the video online, hoping to catch the 4 people in the holdup at a gas station earlier this month. And there goes the python. Police say the crooks were wielding 2 ball pythons, which are not venomous and typically pretty tame, but the store clerk probably didn't know that. In the end, police say the thieves got away with $400 worth of CBD oil. They were there for CBD oil. Thanks for watching us on Fox 29, and for all of
Jesus.
Now to a developing story in Newcastle County. Police are working to solve a murder mystery in a quiet neighborhood. Who killed a 19-year-old man? Tonight, investigators are hoping to uncover clues on neighbors' doorbell cameras. Our Kelly Rule explains.
Newcastle County Police say as they responded here for a call about shots fired, they got a call from Christiana Hospital saying a 19-year-old showed up with a gunshot wound. He died from his injuries. We spoke with neighbors that have lived here for years who say they've never seen this before.
My heart jumped because I knew something was bad that happened over there.
11 years in the Kimberton community, and Deirdre Tolston says she's never seen anything like this.
I'm so sorry. And this is a good area from here up to the front. It's a good area because there's a lot of kids that are around here too.
Newcastle County Police say just after 3 this afternoon.
Who believes her? Who believes her? It looks like it could be a good area, but if niggas is around there, it ain't a good area.
here too.
Newcastle County Police say just after 3 this afternoon, they got a call about shots fired on Clarion Court. Shortly after officers responded, they got another call that a 19-year-old gunshot victim showed up at Christiana Hospital where he died from his injuries. Police could not say where the shooting started, but did say officers located shell casings off Durham Court. At one point, an officer appeared to take evidence from that area. Joseph Carmona, home with 6 kids as young as 4 weeks old, says his wife heard the gunshots.
It's very uneasy because we've never had issues like this. There's a lot of small homes where older couples that live here, and it's been very quiet and peaceful.
Okay, older couples live there. Yeah, it might be a good neighborhood, but all it takes is one nappy-headed fucking sister to bring her fucking nephew and shit around there, and a bunch of fucking nephews and shit, and or let her daughter move in with her kids. It don't take much to ruin the neighborhood, man. That's the thing about black people, man. It don't take much for us to ruin your neighborhood, man. It don't take 10 years of steady immigration. One family can ruin your fucking neighborhood, man. One sister with like 6 kids can ruin your fucking neighborhood.
Homes where older couples that live here, and it's been very quiet and peaceful. So we thought it was fireworks when we heard it, and we didn't know it was gunshots.
A few hours after the shooting, officers could be seen heading towards Jameson Street, some in tactical gear and with long guns. But not too long after, they pulled back.
There was a report of a person of interest possibly in the area. Right now, the house that was looked into has been cleared. If anybody can check their home security systems, if you have one, it'd be great. If you see anything suspicious in the 3 o'clock to 3:30 time frame.
Despite the investigation continuing for hours into the night, the neighborhood's still quiet. Tolston hoping it stays that way.
I hope that they will find whoever did this right here and not put a mark on our neighborhood, because we have a beautiful, great neighborhood, and we don't want this to be happening.
I don't know. I don't know. Yakety yak.
Police are on the hunt for the gunman they say shot a 31-year-old man in the head. That man is now fighting for his life in the hospital. And it all happened on Brook Avenue between East 148th and 147th Streets. Now, News 12's Heather Fordham was at the scene for hours on Friday night and joins us now with the latest details. Heather.
Amanda, sources tell us that man was performing work on a refrigerator inside Richard's Fruits and Vegetables produce store here on Brook Avenue. He stepped outside to take a break and grab his drill from his toolbox outside, but he never made it back inside the store. Boom, boom, boom. The sound of gunshots echoed down Brook Avenue Friday afternoon. The bullets shattered a windshield and left a 31-year-old man clinging to his life on the sidewalk.
3 shots in the head. From what I heard, yeah.
Witnesses say 2 men got into an argument on the street when at least one of them pulled a gun and started shooting.
He stepped out, smashed. Dang. He stepped out for a few minutes and got into an argument with somebody. And the person shot him in the head. Wow.
From what I heard, yeah.
Witnesses say 2 men got into an argument on the street when at least one of them pulled a gun and started shooting. One of those bullets hit the 31-year-old man in the head. Sources say he was not involved in the argument and had just taken a short break from work.
Okay, he wasn't involved in the argument. Okay, that makes more sense. He was just an innocent bystander. Well,
He was not involved in the argument and had just taken a short break from work to grab a drink of water and his tools from outside the produce store.
It was two people and say just, problems with each other, they were shooting at each other, and then they hit the innocent bystander by mistake.
It was just before 2:30 in the afternoon as people were out for the day.
My sister called me to be careful because I usually come over here. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to buy her some stuff.
The commotion drew the attention of neighbors who say the sounds of gunshots have become all too familiar.
Terrible that things like that happen, but that's life around here.
Right now, no one's been arrested for that shooting, but police were going door to door, combing through surveillance video and searching for any clues as to what might have unfolded here and what the motive was behind.
The motive was nigga shit. The motive was nigga shit.
A feud between two local gangs linked to a 7-year-old's tragic death in Jacksonville. That's according to new information from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. Breon Allen Jr. was shot and killed in the Commonwealth neighborhood on Jacksonville's west side back in January.
And now police say the crime is related to last year's murder of Charles Jones, a Jacksonville rapper known as Julio Fulio. Jones was ambushed during his birthday celebration in Tampa last June. This is the shocking surveillance video from that night when Jones fled as a group chased him with guns in the parking lot of a Holiday Inn. Police say Jones is driving the black sedan while that group runs him down and fires multiple shots at the car. Both Allen's and Jones' deaths gained lots of attention statewide. So
this little kid died because this fucking monkey man died last year.
With a reward of up to $25,000 once offered in the 7-year-old's case. And these are the 4 men in custody in Allen's case, each facing.
And nothing was lost. Nothing was lost. The community hasn't lost anything. Nothing was lost from these 4 guys. That's the saddest part about it. You could lock up 4 niggas and nothing be lost. Whatever gang they from is still as dangerous as it was before. Whatever children they got, their lives are going to be just as fucked up as whatever it was before. These niggas ain't got no bills in their name, so there'll be no bills going into, nothing going into escrow, nothing going into collection. None of these niggas ever had a bill in their name. More than a cell phone bill. Nothing was lost. Except for that 7-year-old boy's life.
Each facing second-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and attempted first-degree murder charges. News4Jax reporter Alicia Hatcher digging through the documents to find how JSO made these arrests.
These are the 4 arrest warrants of the man connected to the death of Breon Allen Jr. and injuring his cousin Lafayette Mango Jr. These documents give great detail into how the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office connected these 4 men to this case to make an arrest.
In the warrants, investigators explain the 4 men are members or associates of the group 6 Block, and the shooting that took Allen's life was motivated to the purpose to benefit, promote, and or further the interests of the criminal gang. Allen's cousin Mango is a documented gang associate of the group ATK, according to police. Investigators say an ongoing feud between the 2 gangs led to the death of Charles Jones, also known as Julio Fulio, last year. Following Jones's death, Mango released a song called 6 Ways to Die, featuring another rapper who police say is also a gang member of ATK. In the song, Mango disses several 6 Block members who have died and references a photo that members of a 6 Block took at a gravesite.
This brings us to the day Allen lost his life. After the shooting took place, a witness called 911 and told them that they saw the suspects flee the scene in a black car.
From there, investigators began canvassing the area, recovering video from nearby businesses. Hours later, they found the suspect's car, which was a black Kia where a BMW met them after the shooting. Investigators searched the black Kia where they found a match to the spent rifle casings found at the scene. The following day, detectives requested cell phone data from the location of the murder and where the black Kia was found. Records reveal the data showed the 4 suspects were at both locations.
They took their cell phones on a drill with them. I guess it is kind of hard not to take your cell phone, with you. It's kind of like part of your life. It's part of your body. But if you're going to do something that might get you 1,000 years in prison, that might be the one time where you want to leave your cell phone home. Salute to Mac Knight, man. Mac Knight in the building, starting the $10 challenge off right. Yeah, man. Let's see how many people are going to take the $10 challenge tonight, man.
Detectives also learned that the BMW involved belonged to one of the suspect's family members.
Oh, my God. So all 4 of them had their cell phones on them, which was able to be triangulated to the scene. The car they did the drill in was probably stolen, but then they were picked up they switched cars, and that car they switched to was a family member's car. And I'm not trying to say, I'm not one of these niggas like, man, y'all got to be smart when y'all do this shit. I'm happy these niggas is dumb. I'm happy they got caught. I hope they get 8,000 years in jail. Hope all you niggas get 8,000 years in prison for this stupid shit. Niggas got to start being productive. Got to start being members of society, man. Niggas still want to do this gangster shit. Niggas are playing a low-level base level of life because that's all we're good at. Niggas know they can't function in normal society, so they play the street game because that's a level of life. That's a plane that they can operate on. They can operate in that world because there's no rules, there's no standards, anything goes, and the people with the basest, most carnal traits are the most effective and are the most admired. So they play that street level game. But here's the thing. If you niggas don't want to step up to the big leagues and live in the real world with the rest of people, even get a YouTube channel. Bitch, get a OnlyFans. Nigga, get a SoundCloud account. Nigga, stream on X or Kicking to these young people and become a streamer. You niggas want to go out here and play gangster in the street because that's all you're qualified to do? Take these 8,000 years. I don't feel sorry for you at all.
Seen in a black car.
From there, investigators began canvassing the area, recovering video from nearby businesses. Hours later, they found the suspect's car, which was a black Kia where a BMW met them after the shooting. Investigators searched the black Kia where they found a match to the spent rifle casings found at the scene. The following day, detectives requested cell phone data from the location of the murder and where the black Kia was found. Records reveal the data showed the 4 suspects were at both locations. Detectives also learned that the BMW involved belonged to one of the suspects' family members.
Cell phone data and video surveillance connected the 4 men accused of Allen's death at the scene of the shooting. JSO says more arrests could be expected in this case. For Now reporting, Alicia Hatcher, Channel 4.
Smash on Alicia Hatcher, man. Salute to Bad Dude, man. Bad Dude, Corn Pop. Shout out to Cap One, man. Cap One in the building.
Police originally investigated the shooting death of 3-year-old Ruby Ratliff as a tragic accident. Days later, a woman who was considered part of the family was booked for negligent homicide because she owned the gun. But she's now facing even more serious charges after a large drug seizure related to that investigation. Investigative reporter Mike Pearlstein obtained a recorded phone call in which the suspect talks about what happened. And he spoke exclusively to Rudy's mother about developments that have left her grieving for her child all over again.
What happened, Didi? What happened? What went wrong, Didi?
LaShawn Ratliff shared with us that
what happened? What went wrong? God damn, you gotta call some nigga bitch and to ask her what went wrong because you left your kid in her care and a fucking gun was in the fucking house and the fucking kid got shot with some gun that was lying around the fucking house. Salute to Mark Ishmael, man, the real Mark Ishmael. Shout out to you, man. Taking the challenge, man. Shout out to you, bro. Ock Nation Hall of Famer, man. Salute to Andy Armour. He says, I never refuse a challenge. That's right, Andy, man. Salute to you, man. Another Ock Nation Hall of Famer. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming through, man. All you guys, man. Salute. He said, you think YouTube suppresses Ock likes? Yeah, they suppress a lot of shit, but here's the thing, though. We keep it going every night, man. Every night we keep it going, man. It's still the underground, man. They push us further and further underground, man. We the only ones still talking about crime. You notice that? Press 1. Everybody else talking about immigration and politics. Niggas jump ship on crime. Niggas jump ship on crime. Remember everybody used to, not as much as we did, but everybody would, some channels got in on the crime shit. Now they back on politics and immigration and shit, and whether some black bitch like you or not, or some nigga snitching or some stupid shit like that. And we the only channel that's steadily banging the crime drum, steadily keeping the crime news, man. Shout out to all you guys.
us that anguished phone call.
Spoke exclusively to Rudy's mother about developments that have left her grieving for her child all over again.
What happened, Didi? What happened? What went wrong, Didi?
LaShawn Ratliff shared with us that anguished phone call with Tatisha Refuge, a trusted family figure they call.
Jesus Christ. That's a trusted family figure. Tatisha. Jesus Christ. You could look in her eyes. You could tell she done fucking killed some people and all types of shit. You could tell that's a goddamn savage beast. Shout out to Pamela Henderson, man. You could tell that's a savage beast right there.
They called TD. The call came about a month after Refuge was booked with negligent homicide as the owner of the gun that fired a single bullet into the chest of Ratliff's son, Rudy, the 3-year-old boy who everybody.
Wow, look at that little boy, man. Wow.
Called Tootie Man.
I cry every day, man. I can't get around this. What happened? I'm so sorry.
The arrest of
I'm
Refuge
sorry. You motherfuckers always sorry and shit. Always sorry, always late, always niggified. And listen, I'm not here judging. Things can happen, man. Listen, I can't tell you how many times my fucking daughter been playing. My mace done fell off my hip, and my daughter been playing with my mace or my son been playing with my mace, but my mace got a fucking got a safety on it where they can't spray it unless they can't figure out how to spray it. So I mean, I get it. I always be like, damn, I'm glad I don't carry no gun, man. Because you know, things can happen, mistakes can happen. But when niggas is around, when you watching somebody else kids, mistakes can happen when you watching your own kids. When you watching somebody else kids, you can't have guns lying around and shit.
Who everybody called Tootie Man.
I cry every day. I can't get around this. What happened? I'm sorry.
The arrest of Refuge was originally based on the shooting taking place inside her home. But what was recorded later in that phone call has changed the trajectory of the case. While Ratliff and family members first assumed Rudy accidentally picked up the gun and shot himself, her conversation with Refuge revealed devastating new details.
It fell out my pants. And I stood up and dropped out my pants.
Initial police reports
Wow. The gun fell out her pants, hit the ground, pop, boom. If you leave your kid with a nigger bitch, you are fucking. And I'm talking about like a nigger bitch. I'm not just talking about a black woman. I'm talking about if you leave your kid with a nigger bitch, you are fucking rolling the dice, man. And I know people got jobs, they got to go to work. People got to make money. You know what I'm saying? Women need a break from sometimes. You trust these people. No other kid has ever been shot at that house before. It ain't like kids get shot at that house all the time, but when you leave your kid with a nigger bitch, you are fucking rolling the dice, man. Some ratchet ass fucking wannabe gangster and shit. Or some bitch with like a fucking thugged out boyfriend and shit. Or just have a gun around and shit. You rolling the dice, man.
Initial police reports show that family members assumed Rudy shot himself. Ratliff told a detective that she heard Refuge scream, "He got hold to the gun." A family friend offered that version at a memorial several days later.
Some kind of way the baby got a hold of the gun.
It was unbelievable. I had so much faith in her. I thought my child shot himself before I thought she shot my child.
Now, that phone call in which Refuge appears to give a different version of what happened is in the hands of detectives and has become a critical piece of evidence. In the call,
you know what, black people, let me tell you the first thing black people thinking. She's snitching. That's how toxic and evil and degenerate the black culture is. Most niggas is thinking, man, she's snitching. Salute the amazing disgrace. He says, after all, we've seen people still criticize the folks that wanted segregation. Yeah. Black people wanted segregation first, remember? A higher class of black people wanted segregation from niggas first. They didn't want to live around niggas. They didn't want to live around niggas.
what happened is in the hands of detectives and has become a critical piece of evidence. In the call, Refuge does not go into detail about how the trigger was pulled and the shot fired. Visiting from Texas, Ratliff was inside Refuge's house, but her back was turned. She explained that she went to Refuge's house to pick up her 10-year-old son after he spent Thanksgiving there.
My son used to.
Shit, she was visiting from Texas. That is crazy. You visiting from Texas and your fucking kid gets shot at some fucking bitches. Yo, man. You just gotta know. It's crazy. There's really no way this woman could have known her kid was in mortal danger and shit.
Visiting from Texas, Ratliff was inside Refuge's house, but her back was turned. She explained that she went to Refuge's house to pick up her 10-year-old son after he spent Thanksgiving there.
My son used to go to church on Sundays. They did a lot of stuff before we moved to Texas. Like, my son spent majority of his life with her.
A search warrant later served on Refuge's home revealed shocking new evidence. According to court records, detectives found a backpack with baggies, a scale, and a substantial amount of white powder. The detectives say they also found a gun magazine with 9mm rounds. In this February arrest warrant outlining a host of new accusations, NOPD detectives wrote that the white powder turned out to be fentanyl, a deadly and illegal synthetic opioid.
This bitch got fentanyl in the house and she watching your kids.
The detectives say the total weight was more than 1.5 pounds, worth more than $100,000 on the street, and potentially enough to kill hundreds. 747 grams of fentanyl. What do you think of that?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I cannot believe it. Well, all is going on, I just can't believe Petey.
The case that started with a negligent homicide arrest has now become one of the city's biggest fentanyl busts in years. Refuge has since been rebooked with illegal use of drugs in the presence of a minor, illegal carrying of a gun with drugs, and the most serious new charge, possession with intent to distribute more than 250 grams of fentanyl. The fentanyl count, based on the amount, carries a sentence of 25 years to life in prison.
It's a lot on me. Like, I still got to live every day without my son. Like, I never see my son again.
Refuge's bail now stands at $1.5 million, higher than bail for most murder suspects. Mike Perlstein, WWL, Louisiana.
Jesus Christ.
It was an emotional morning. Pursuit of God Church in Fraser held its first service after the passing of their pastor, Ricky Floyd. Floyd was shot and killed earlier this week. Thanks for joining us at News at 5. I'm Jessica Gertler in for Shay Arthur. WREG's Quimitra Wilborn explains why church members say even through their grief, they're pushing forward.
So this is a pause. This is a comma. It's not a period.
There was no moment of silence at the late Pastor Ricky D. Floyd's church, Pursuit of God, in Fraser Sunday morning. Instead, his congregation says they wanted to honor him the way they knew he would want, by praising a much higher power.
Because we don't grieve like those who don't have no hope.
This was the church's first service since Floyd was killed on March 12th.
And we know that he is with the Lord because he knew the Lord, he loved the Lord, he had a relationship with the Lord, and he taught us the word of God.
Church member Dr. Talisa Franklin says the decision to move forward with the service just days after his death was not easy, but it was necessary.
But we know he would want us to continue on because he gave us the blueprint of vision and we got to carry out the vision. And if we don't know nothing else, Pastor Ricky D. Floyd and Pastor Sheila Floyd, they gave us the blueprint to pray.
And despite the tears, church members say they are leaning on prayer and their faith to move them forward.
We grieve. We mourn. We cry. We ask questions. But when we get in with the questions, we don't grieve like those who have no hope.
According to the church's website, Floyd and his wife started the church in the early 2000s with the goal of changing lives in the Fraser community. Franklin says even though their beloved leader is gone, they will continue his mission.
We ain't giving up. We're going to keep that legacy going of our leader, our pastor, my friend, my twin, that he loved God and he loved God's people. So that's all I know. We're going to continue to love God and love God's people.
Reporting for your news leader from Fraser.
I think the way he died is kind of shameful. And they trying to cover up for that. Press 1. The way he died arguing with some goddamn raggedy asshole at a goddamn fucking nightclub over some bullshit. They trying to, hey, everybody's happy. We moving on. Happy. Moving on. We moving on. Because it's shameful the way he died, being the man he was. Being who he wasn't supposed to die in such a manner. And these niggas is trying to overcompensate for that shit by being all happy and joyful and shit. And moving on. And nigga talk. Nah, motherfucker. You know the way he died. He wasn't supposed to go out like that.
2000s with the goal of changing lives in the Fraser community. Franklin says even though their beloved leader is gone, they will continue his mission.
We ain't giving up. We're going to keep that legacy going of our leader, our pastor, my friend, my twin, that he loved God and he loved God's people. So that's all I know. We're going to continue to love God and love God's people.
Reporting for your news leader from Fraser. From your Wolfhorn, WREG News, Channel 3.
Wow. Shameful, man. What a shameful, man, way to go out, man. I feel bad for him, man. I really feel bad for that guy, man. He lived a life and then went out like that. That was crazy. That was insane. That was insane, man.
New at 6, Atlanta police investigating a deadly double shooting. This is on McDaniel Street. We know those shots rang out in that area sometime around 1 this afternoon. Let's get out to Fox 5's Joy Dukes, who's there with the latest. Joy, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Eric, we can tell you that shooting happened in the parking lot of the smoke shop you can see here behind me near the intersection of McDaniel Street and Whitehall Road. We know McDaniel Street was shut down for several hours earlier today while police were conducting their investigation here. Now, we are told at this point that a man and a woman were both shot during this situation. This happened, as you said there, about 1 p.m. earlier today. Investigators arrived on scene. They found both of the victims inside a white Nissan Altima, unfortunately bleeding out there. Now we know that EMS vehicles transported both of them to the hospital for treatment. Unfortunately, that is where the male victim apparently died, according to police. Now it's unclear who fired the fatal shots in this incident, but we know detectives spent several hours here searching for evidence. And you can see just how massive a scene that this was. It spanned much of the intersection and some of the down the street kind of areas as well here. There's still a lot of unanswered questions certainly here, Eric, so we'll be updating you all as we work to learn more. We know this is a developing story, and APD says that they are still investigating the circumstances around.
It is a busy police scene even now in Times Square this morning after cops say a man was set on fire.
Eyewitness News reporter Shantae Lands has the latest for us this morning. Shantae, this happening just a block away from that course. Right?
Pedro and Tony, good morning. Yes, it's that close. You can hear cheers from the other side. You can actually see the runners if you look beyond the police tape, beyond the detectives there. There's one taking a picture. The runners are running now for the half marathon, but hours earlier, around 4 a.m., a man was lit on fire. The police now still combing the scene.
4 a.m. If you hanging out in New York at 4 a.m., I've done that before. Oh, as a teenager, man. My homeboy, my roommate actually at the at Quaker school, man. He was from New York, Malaysian kid. We went up there to New York on the weekend, hung out, man, got drunk and high, and was just acting a fool and shit. But it ain't nothing good on the streets in New York at 4 o'clock in the morning, man. Fucking anywhere, man. And this was in the 90s. This was like 94, 95, some shit like that. If you out in New York, 4 o'clock in the morning, you need to be headed somewhere, going somewhere. Not.
He told them that he was approached by a man who threw a liquid on him, then proceeded to ignite him on fire. This
Oh, what do you know?
happened in 41st.
Is this the guy who was set on fire, or is this the guy who set the guy on fire?
Street and 7th Avenue. That call again came in around 4 a.m. He suffered burns to his face and arms. He was removed and rushed to Cornell Hospital. The good news is that he's expected to be okay. The bad is that man is still on the loose. But back out here, we also spoke to people who were in the area walking by, a woman who works in this area who was shaken up by hearing about all of this.
That was very heartbreaking to hear. I wasn't 4 a.m. Like, no, yeah, that breaks my heart. I wasn't expecting it. Like, I haven't been out here long. I've been working early mornings, and yeah, this is so random.
And you see some of the detectives here from the crime scene unit taking photos of the scene. Again, the good news, that man expected to be okay. This is a very busy area here in the Times Square area. Cameras all over the place. It should be able to have some surveillance. Police are hoping of the person who did this. Only description they have from the man who was set on fire is that he was wearing blue clothing. For now, live in Times Square.
Wow.
Emergency crews in the U.S. state of Connecticut made a disturbing discovery last month while responding to a house fire. At the property, they found a middle-aged woman and her 32-year-old stepson who claimed he'd been kept secret his entire life and revealed startling allegations of abuse. CNN's Gene Casares has the story.
33 years of law enforcement, this is the worst treatment of humanity that I've ever witnessed.
When authorities were called to a home on fire, they were looking for anyone who may be trapped inside.
Officers and fire investigators quickly realized that there was a room in the house that appeared to have locks on it from the exterior portion of the house.
A 32-year-old man was locked inside that room.
They began to speak to the male victim, who disclosed that he was being held captive in the house for an extended period of time.
The man was treated for smoke inhalation, and police say he admitted to setting the fire to gain his freedom. He also told them he'd been held captive for more than 20 years by his stepmother since he was about 11 years old. He said he was only fed 2 sandwiches and 2 cups of water a day. Authorities say he was held in an 8 by 9 foot storage room with no heat or air conditioning, and he suffered serious physical consequences. According to a police affidavit, the 32-year-old is 5 feet 9 inches tall and just 68.7 pounds.
There's a lot of physical therapy that he'll have to go through. There's a lot of healing that he'll have to go through.
According to law enforcement, authorities went to the home twice in April of 2004. The first visit was a welfare check requested by the Department of Children and Families.
Officers went to the house. The house was clean. It was lived in. They spoke to the victim at that point in time, and there were no cause for any alarm.
Later that month, the family attempted to file harassment charges because the school district continued reporting the family to DCF. The affidavit says after that, his stepmother pulled him out of school.
It's just unfathomable that anyone could treat someone this way.
The alleged victim says he wasn't allowed to use the bathroom and instead had to use bottles and newspaper. His stepmother, Kimberly Sullivan, was arrested on charges of assault, Second degree.
And she probably crying and shit. Look at that evil ass woman, man. Evil, demented, wicked woman. Wow.
Kidnapping and first-degree unlawful restraint. Her attorney says the allegations against her are not true.
Absolutely not true. He was not locked in a room. She did not restrain him in any way. She provided food. She provided shelter. She is blown away by these allegations.
Jean Casares, CNN, New York.
32 years old, just 68 pounds, and 20 years in captivity, allegedly. An emaciated Connecticut man's physical appearance so horrifying and shocking that his uncle told police, quote, "He looks like a Holocaust survivor." How did he get to this point? Who knew? And why are we just hearing about this now? Well, the man, who officials are calling male victim 1, tells police that the last time he left his family property was when he was 14 or 15 to dispose of yard waste with his dad. He says his dad and stepmom starved him and physically abused him since he was a child. And that things got so bad, he started stealing, eating from the garbage, and drinking toilet water. Then came the alleged confinement, a punishment, he says, for sneaking food. But things got even worse just over 1 year ago when his dad died. His stepmother allegedly became even more restrictive, deadbolting him in an 8-by-9-foot room where he says he would stay for 22 to 24 hours a day. I want you to look at this next photograph carefully. You're looking at the inside of the home where it all allegedly took place. It may be the only glimpse we get into the space where male victim 1 allegedly suffered these abuses. It's also the home he set fire to last month. He says he was done and used printer paper, hand sanitizer, and a stolen lighter to light that fire and finally get authorities' attention. Now his stepmother is facing charges of assault, kidnapping, and cruelty, but she denies any wrongdoing. Her lawyer saying, "My client maintains her innocence and looks forward to clearing her name." For more on this, let's bring in the mayor of Waterbury, Connecticut, where all of this took place, Paul Pernaruski. Mayor, thank you for joining us. I do want to play some of what the police chief had to say today. Listen.
33 years of law enforcement, this is the worst treatment of humanity that I've ever witnessed. It was worse than the conditions of a jail cell.
Mayor, what more are you learning tonight about the conditions of this victim?
I mean, the conditions were just deplorable. As the chief said, it was a small area. He was held in 9 feet by 8 feet. The windows wouldn't open, the door locked from the outside. It was a dormer room. The ceiling sloped down, so there's issues around that. He was allowed out for about between 2 hours or 15 minutes in that range once a day, was fed 2 bottles of water and 2 sandwiches a day. That's all he had. He had to rig a makeshift way to drain the urine out of the bottles that he had in the room while he was in there. So it's unfathomable to think of what he went through.
And this is somebody who's 32 years old now. I mean, the arrest warrant in that he alleges that he was held captive in that house since he was 11. But he remembers the abuse going back to when he was just 3 years old. I mean, how were they able to possibly hide this alleged abuse for so many years?
Well, you know, he was withdrawn from school when he was going into 4th grade, when he was about 11 years old. He was homeschooled, and there's really no connection between the city or the state and families that are being homeschooled here in Connecticut. There was a lot of psychological and, other intimidation that went on with him. When people came to the house, he was told to be quiet. They rarely had any visitors. And I think over time, his stepmother was telling him that, if he behaved himself, she would try to let him out more. So she kind of was able to control him that way as well. From the time he was 11, he doesn't remember ever leaving the house except for one incident when he was about 12 years old, when he accompanied his father to the dump to dispose of some leaves. But the rest of the time he was locked in that room, except for, about 2 hours a day, sometimes only 15 minutes a day did he get out.
I can't even contemplate this level of cruelty
I know, it's hard
you're
to believe.
describing. It's thinking about, I have elementary school students, children myself, and the idea of all the many steps that must have failed this person. I mean, the victim's former elementary school principal is speaking out, saying that the school notified the Department of Children and Family Services on several occasions. Listen.
We knew it. We reported it. Not a damn thing was done. That's the tragedy of the whole thing. Everyone really was concerned with this child since he was 5 years old. You knew something was wrong. It was grossly wrong. Sorry we couldn't do more because you went through more than any of us ever will go through in our lives.
Brings tears to your eyes. Think about that. I mean, in the arrest warrant affidavit, the victim states that Child Services visited the home twice, and he was told to tell them everything was okay. Mayor, how could something like this be missed?
We do know they were called twice. That was the point at which he ended up being homeschooled. So that's when he withdrew from the system. There was no more connection with him. At one point, shortly after he was homeschooled, we do know that some of his former classmates were concerned because they didn't see him any longer. They called DCF. They contacted the Waterbury Police Department. We sent an officer out to visit the home. He talked to the child, and he came back and reported that everything was okay. And then after that, it just sort of fell through the cracks or fell out of anyone's notice at that point and continued on. So I do think that we've made some strides in the last 20 years for reporting requirements and things where people would notice these things. And, I think anyone who knows or is concerned something's going on ought to, feel comfortable in reporting it. It's better to report something and have it turn out not to be true than to allow something like this to go on for 20 years because you're not sure what to do about it.
So true. Just imagine the lives that you could save and what so many might be enduring. Mayor Paul Pernaruski, thank you. We'll be following this story very closely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. 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 Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Right. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
A high school student on the west side is giving her fellow classmates a confident boost.
She sure is. She's a high school junior using her talent to do free hairstyles during school breaks as a way to give back. And her skills are getting noticed both in the hallway and online. And I don't know if you noticed, but she's usually dolled up. Tia Ewing got extra dolled up today.
I did. She really hooked me up with that curl and iron. 17-year-old Jessica Thurman is a rising star in the world of hair. Trust me, I've seen her talent up close and personal. That's because she curled me up today. Videos of her work have blown up on Instagram and TikTok, racking up millions of views.
Do you think you can fix my hair for me? I was like, sure. So we got a bathroom. I just thought like, okay, how about we record it? I didn't think it was going to go viral.
Yeah, I'm calling her the bathroom beautician. Videos posted to Instagram and TikTok. They quickly went viral with over 1.2 million views. And this one, it ran up over 3 million views. That's because Jessica, she's spraying, braiding, and laying down more than just edges. She's laying down a name for herself. At just 17, the North Lawndale College prep junior is braiding her way to success. During our interview, she had her phone in one hand, a comb in the other, always ready to whip up a style at a moment's notice. She started braiding at just 8 years old and now keeps a full roster of paying clients on the weekend. But believe it or not, her talent isn't confined to a salon chair. She's running her own pop-up salon in the school's bathroom during her breaks. One bathroom has an outlet, the other doesn't, but that hasn't stopped her from getting to work. And here's the twist. She does all of this for free, giving back to classmates who can't afford a fresh style. Her salon setup is humble, her hustle is unmatched, and her future, she's got it on lock.
You were just set up in this stall with what, a chair and?
No, I was just standing up. And they sat on the toilet.
What?
Yeah.
They sat on the toilet while you did their hair?
Yes.
Did they lie in the toilet? They just sat straight up on the toilet.
Yeah. It's like all over.
That's hilarious.
Absolutely sat there. I think that Jessica doesn't understand how much she's living out the mission and the vision of North Lawndale College Prep when we say we're going to be transformative, right? This is a transformative thing.
Now, Jessica hosts the school.
That's gross.
This shit is so fucking dumb. Fucking probably 10%, not probably less than 10%. I'll say probably fucking 4% of North Lawndale College Prep reading at the fucking level that they supposed to. And probably 2% is on the math level they're supposed to. But you got a bit. Let me stop. You don't have a bitch. You have a young lady that probably is not reading at grade level, braiding people's hair in the fucking bathroom stalls. And it has a news fucking whole segment by Tia Ewing, who was fucking Tiffany Henyer's fucking husband or baby daddy. This shit is fucking stupid.
We uplifting black voices.
You know what? I want to take a little different view on this. There aren't many good stories that's coming out of this area. Obviously, if this is being highlighted the way it's being highlighted, this is an area where there aren't many good stories coming out of it. And they had to scratch and you know, like this is like, you know, scraping gum off the sidewalk to find a good story.
I understand.
They found one.
I understand that, but like it takes one search to say North Lawndale grade for the school. And then you look at how many people are reading at grade level or how many people are mathematically at grade level. And then you see
it's a distraction.
Like, doesn't that go without saying though? Like, if it's a black public school, isn't it just, can't you just assume that none of the kids can read at the grade level?
But I'm not assuming that motherfuckers are braiding hair on a toilet. And then it's like praise. You get what I'm saying? Like, we're praising this girl for probably skipping class and braiding hair. She's definitely skipping class because braiding hair doesn't take fucking 40 minutes.
Maybe. Here's the thing, and I agree with everything you said. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying maybe this is one person in this community or in this school that you can squeeze a semblance of a future out of. Press one. Like, you can, like, if it was a nigga over here who play football real good or basketball real good, they probably don't have that. They probably don't have any stars on the football team or the basketball team.
No, they
don't. It's probably some nigga that can rap. You know what I'm saying? That we probably don't know. He go to North Lawndale. He maybe dropped off or something, whatever. But she might be the star of that ecosphere. And, you know, I mean, she's a cute young lady. You know, she can, she probably, you know, she could talk. Like, you heard her talking during the piece. She could talk, you know what I'm saying? Listen.
She could be the president, Ak.
Yeah, being from DC and seeing like what you know, the city, a lot of these schools turn out. You can understand how like you're just trying to grip onto something, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what? This is such a feel-good story that I really honestly think this young lady should keep her head low, just stay out of the way. Because, you know, these brothers are good at sniffing these kids out, you know, these kids that have potential.
Yeah. The haters. I mean, other girls going to hate her. Like, she's going to get hate.
Yeah,
People
you know, and
gonna
straight bullets. You know,
They'll
somehow
get
these
jealous and shoot her.
somehow these sun words, they're straight bullets. Are
No, they're gonna
amazing,
get
and they
jealous and they get her pregnant. That's what they're gonna do.
that they could do that. I mean, she better keep her head low
And then
too.
shoot her.
Oh, she definitely gonna. She probably already got a baby. I mean, she's probably already got. They didn't
Yeah,
say that,
yeah,
but
that's
I wouldn't be
true.
surprised if she already had a baby.
Yeah, you're right.
I bet money she had a kid.
Yeah, North
Yeah,
Lawndale is fucking terrible.
It's a tough school.
yeah. So you got her, little boom. She could hear, man.
Hey,
She
hey,
cute.
hey, but y'all'll be surprised though, man. Hey, North Lawndale is I wanna say like 50-50 on Brito now.
Is it? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I know it's
yeah.
pretty empty. Last I heard.
Nah, there's a lot of Britos at North Lawndale now.
Wow. Yeah. Salute to her, the bathroom beautician, man.
Courses before she graduates. She says that she will continue to offer hairstyles to classmates for free. And if you do want to follow her on social media, her name is I am JS Marie on all social media platforms. I love it.
So talented.
Look at
So
your hair.
talented.
Yeah,
Now,
she
wait,
did a
how
good
did
job.
how did you decide? You guys decide on just the curl. You didn't do like a little bump at the end.
No real bump, just really curly. And you know what? I told her she did a better job. No shade to my hairstylist if you're watching. But you know, you're paying bucks to go to the hair salon these days. So for a 17-year-old,
that's awesome.
And I want people to know this too before we go, because you know, people say, is this legal? In the state of Illinois, she's not doing anything that crosses the line at this point to where you need a license. So
okay,
It's a health code violation.
very good. Well, you look great. And I love her
Yo,
story.
I love
Thank
her
you.
story too.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Tia.
Hey, yo, in the state of
And you
Illinois, it takes a motherfucker to do hair and cut hair more time to be solidified and certified than
A high school student on the West.
law enforcement officer. So this bitch Tia Leone is literally lying, bro. It takes them like 200 something hours to be a certified barber, bro, and they got to renew their license like every fucking year, and it's like pricey as shit.
Yeah, it's a money grab. It's a money
Yeah,
grab.
it's literally like doing hair in Illinois is probably one of the biggest money grabs. It's like comparable to like California when it comes to like all these like restrictions and all this other shit.
Wow, that's crazy.
Our house was the cookie house.
Their connection started over sweets.
It was the lemon bar and chocolate chip cookies.
For more than 10 years, Vamar Hunter found himself drawn to Gimme Some Sugar, a bakery on Chicago's South Side.
How often would you say you were coming?
At least once a week.
And what did you like about this place?
It's just the whole vibe. Everything is comfortable, and the pancakes was just like the best I'd ever had. I still to this day don't order pancakes from anywhere else.
Behind those pancakes, Lenore Lindsay, who never thought she'd own a bakery but took it up after retirement, putting her own spin on some family recipes.
I just wanted to have a little place, you know, like Cheers, where everybody knows your name.
And always watching out for the regulars.
You know, hey, you gonna eat all that? Like that.
So in those early days, he comes in. Were you paying any attention to him?
No, none at all. I didn't think he was special in any way.
Did it really happen? Yeah, that just felt mean.
That easy rapport foreshadowing a life-altering explanation. Vamar was adopted as a child.
The way I found out was my adoptive mother just brought it up kind of matter-of-factly, like, yeah, remember when I told you were adopted? No.
You'd never heard that before.
No.
So he started working with a genealogist who found his biological mother.
You can't tell this story without talking God, because I was led the entire way.
Little did he know, he'd be led right behind the counter of his favorite bakery, back to Lenore. Pregnant at just 17, at the time, Lenore felt adoption was the best way forward.
Every time I think about how I disappointed my parents, that's just very overwhelming for me. So all I could think about was, how can I make this better for my parents, and just kind of go on.
50 years later, she was given the name and number of her son to call, thinking he'd be a complete stranger.
I called him from the bakery line because I wasn't sure, who he was or anything.
Give me some sugar pops up. I didn't order anything. I'm thinking, why? Then I heard a voice. I'm like, Miss Lenore? Like, yeah. Like, Miss Lenore? Like, yeah. I'm like, this is for Mars.
So wait, are you two just screaming at each other on the phone?
Screaming.
Yeah,
We're just like screaming.
It was a lot of, oh my
We're
God.
just like, oh my goodness, no!
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. This
Yeah.
must be the best
No, are you
story ever.
kidding? No!
And the pair started noticing some similarities.
I started saying like, oh, the little wisecracking thing. Yeah. I got somebody to blame for that now.
We are so much alike, it is crazy.
As the two were making up for lost time, Lenore was also fighting breast cancer, and the shop was taking a toll. So Vamar decided to step up, learning how to bake at night. Today, he's running the bakery full-time.
I couldn't just sell it to anybody or have anybody coming in. They had to feel it. They had to feel the people. And so he loves it like I love it. That's huge for me.
And Vamar has mastered his craft.
Are these the famous pound cakes?
Yes.
Yes.
These are the Vamar pound cakes?
These are the Vamar pound cakes.
Mother and son, now together, feeding the souls of their community.
This world is full of people that don't do good things, And it just so happens that my mother is a pillar of the community.
I can't explain it. It almost feels like I have never been away from him.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me? That's an amazing story. Wow.
Yo.
That's amazing.
Hey, yo, that's like fucking amazing. But I've been there and that motherfucker high as hell.
Love at first bite.
Yo, no. I'm talking about that bitch is sugary and high than a motherfucker. But I didn't know this story, so I might go, you know what I'm saying? Because that's where I work at. Like that bakery is right there where I work at.
That's a beautiful story, man.
Nah, that's
Shout
a
out to
beautiful
Michael.
story. Yeah, that's a beautiful
Michael
story.
says, bottom line, B is she's helping others. That's a rare son trait. It should be encouraged. Now, I don't think helping others is a rare son trait. I think
well, she's getting paid, right?
I think that is such a story that's extinct now because she was 17 and got pregnant and was so ashamed and embarrassed of like misrepresenting her parents that she gave the baby up for adoption.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a 17-year-old being ashamed and worried about what her parents think now?
No. It's a different time. Yeah, shame is
doesn't exist.
It doesn't. Yeah, it just. I mean, you have the internet and everything. So reality TV. Salute to Michael, man. Shout out to you, Michael. Salute to Big Larry in the building.
Them motherfuckers never opened though.
Stories I've ever seen.
Wow.
It's pretty incredible. Thank you so much to Vamar and for Miss Lindsay for letting me into that shop. I felt such a special connection going back home and being with them. Lucky for us guys.
Yeah.
They took a little break after the holidays because they had to recuperate, but they sent us some of their goodies. They don't even ship nationally yet, but they ship them here.
And how they will when that movie wins
And
an
yes,
Oscar.
Miss Lenore is doing much better now, but she still gets to help out in the bakery and she still gets to spend time with her
Quidditch job. Al Rogan was
sick and then ran the bakery.
Quidditch
She
job,
didn't lose
and
the
now-
bakery.
Nope, she kept it in the family.
She calls her sons, never met after 50 years. It happens to be the dude in the neighborhood that gets in the shop. They know each other. It's incredible.
And now they get to spend holidays together. They get to spend time together.
You look at them though, and after all, you're like they look
the same.
alike. The mannerisms are
They
the same.
laugh. She said she remembers now when he first came in. He laughs like her brother does.
Okay.
And it's just it's
that
story
is and that phone call between them, it's me.
Yeah, that was.
Nah. This might be one of the best stories I've ever heard.
Yeah. Salute to them, man. I'm happy that it turned to good people. That's what I'm telling you. Like these cities, they're so big that I mean, the Negro pestilence that destroys the city is to a degree such a small part of the overall population, but they just have But here's the thing: those people, both of them, the mom and the son, both gonna vote Kamala. Both gonna vote for
Oh yeah.
Mayor Jackson. Both think George Floyd is a goddamn reincarnation of
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah.
They're
So
gonna
it's like,
advocate for these shitheads.
yeah,
Hey,
think
and
lesser
guess, hey,
sentences.
you know where that place at, bruh?
Where?
That shit off of 71st and Jeffrey.
Oh,
In the South Shore neighborhood. Like,
Blakistan, chief.
yeah, that shit. When I tell you that shit is man, that shit right there, that shit is in the
Yeah.
stand, the hood, dog.
If
And
me and you were to park and sit there for 30 minutes, the shit we would see,
Wow.
yeah,
Whole
I'm
world
gonna
is
send the
coming down.
pictures. I'm gonna send some pictures of that shit.
Okay.
Tonight, a grieving mother is desperate for answers after her son was stabbed to death. It happened Friday night near the Barclays Center in Park Slope, Brooklyn. Christy Kalishian spoke to the victim's mother, who has a message for the person responsible.
I feel like my whole world is coming down.
Unfathomable grief for Marisol Miranda, who would have never thought she'd have to lay her son, Michael Hernandez Jr., to rest. Police say the 27-year-old was found with stab wounds across his abdomen at around 9 Friday night, just outside the Barclays Center. When Miranda got the call from police that it was her son, she was in denial.
I'm texting my son, Pops, because I called him Pops. I said, Pops, please answer me. Please tell me this is a lie. And he didn't answer. I didn't get no response from my baby.
She had just seen him earlier that afternoon. He was leaving her Bronx apartment to head for Brooklyn, where she says he loved hanging out. Although he was born in Yonkers, his nickname was Brooklyn.
He would say, bye, Ma, and I would be like, no, bye is forever. Papi, I love you. I see you later.
A little while later, he messaged her asking for money, and that was the last she heard from him. She was told by police that what appeared to be a group of teens followed him and beat him. Her message to
A group of teens followed him and beat him.
Yikes.
Maybe he owed somebody money.
Maybe it was Tiger teens. You don't know.
Yeah, it was definitely most likely Tiger teens or
I think that shit is New York, so it's the people that was leaving the Bangladesh study market, whatever the fuck it was.
the tutoring farm.
Yeah, it was them, man. They left the tutoring farm and they was just like, wait a minute, that go Brooklyn.
Right.
We got to fuck him up, man.
Belts to ass.
Yeah, man. Poor Brooklyn, man.
To anyone involved.
I pray that God puts his hands on you and guides you to the precinct or turn yourself in.
What would justice look like to you?
Them behind bars.
She says after years of suffering from mental illness, he was starting to prioritize his mental and physical health.
Yeah. He kind of no bullshit. He kind of looked kind of slow though. You see that shit? Like he got.
It came full circle, like it came full circle.
No, he looked like he could be trouble, like a New York Puerto Rican. You know like the New York Puerto Ricans. They be like with the shit. They like almost. They like some with a little bit of more character. They got character.
I thought that was more the Dominicans.
Nah. The Puerto Ricans are pretty sunny. They're pretty sunny, but they're lighter than the Dominicans.
The Puerto Ricans have character though. They like men.
They're like the Indian.
Yeah, like grown men and shit. Like they have morals and shit, but they can take it just as far as the Sun men.
Yeah,
it's crazy because I noticed that with a lot of the Hispanic breeds, like the El Salvadorians, especially, like they can take it where the Sun men can take it, but they just have character and morals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like they stand up dudes, but they can take it there. Whereas sons are more like less have like character is not like a honor and shit like that isn't like a big deal.
Right. Yo, man, I've been doing a lot of like reading and like research recently on Mexico. Man, the burritos are terrifying, chief. Dumb burritos are dangerous.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? They're
definitely.
very, very cool, man. Very like you get one warning, and your warning is like you lose your hand. You know?
Oh yeah, they when they set up their societies, especially homogeneous societies,
Yeah, yeah.
when they're homogeneous, they take it. They're draconian, man.
We're so violent to each other. Like that's the thing
Yeah,
about us. Like our violence is directed towards each other. You know what I mean?
I told you I walked through gang infested Latino areas, and they don't even fucking look at me. You know what I'm saying?
This story here, is fucking heartbreaking though, and it's weird, how this story kind of just rolls off the tongue, like oh, just another day in
Yeah,
America, but it's a
yeah.
fucking tragic story, man.
Right outside the arena.
Right outside of Barclay Arena. Yup.
He was starting to prioritize his mental and physical health with goals of getting his high school diploma and going to trade school. She shares that her son loved music, playing video games, and making people laugh. Long after the scene was cleaned
Man,
up,
he sound like a whole son, man.
Miranda visited.
I felt, and I told him I won't stop until we get justice for you, Papi.
Hernandez's family plans on holding a vigil and balloon release in his memory outside of his mother's apartment building in the coming days. In the South Bronx.
Jesus. Mm-mm-mm. Fucking unbelievable.
This
So
is
sad,
America.
man. Yeah, so sad for that guy, man, and his mom, man.
I wonder
His
why they attacked them. They didn't know, right? I wonder why they.
could have just been like, could have been just like he was walking, he was there. He could have been like posturing like he was a tough guy. They could have been posturing like they're a tough guy. Nobody want to stand down, and then like they turned up on him, and then he probably tried to walk away, and then they chased him. A lot of times it don't be like a big
Yeah.
deal. Just be like some posturing, like you standing there and some young boys acting wild in your presence and shit, and you might be like you might give them a look like, hey man, they're not over here or some shit like that, and then they like, man, then they that
It's
makes them
on.
more. Yeah, make them want to play more. Like when once young Sun teens see that you are annoyed by them, that makes them want to annoy you more.
Right. But this could have been on burritos, though. To be fair, it could
Well,
have
no,
been. It probably wasn't.
it's like the black women who raised them, bro. I mean, they go out of their way to be annoying. Come on.
Yeah.
It could have been on burritos, though. I mean, I don't think it was. But it could have been.
Tonight, we're learning more about a deadly shooting in the Smoketown neighborhood. DeAndrea Turner went back to the scene on South Preston Street, where she talked with city leaders and family members about the growing concerns over gun violence.
I spoke with Dakari McDonald's grandmother off camera. She said around 10:30 on Saturday morning, she saw a lot of police officers outside of her home. So she came outside to ask them what was going on. They asked if her grandson was inside. When she said yes, that's when an hours-long standoff went on until around 5 p.m. when McDonald was arrested for murder. Video from inside McDonald's home shows the aftermath of a SWAT response, a hole in the roof and a broken bed where officers searched for him. It's a scene where the newly elected Metro Councilman Ken Herndon says is becoming all too familiar.
More than likely, somewhere in this community in a few days is going to happen again.
The deadly shooting happened Saturday morning on South Preston Street near a soup kitchen. Police say a 70-year-old man, Michael Evans, was found dead at the scene. Surveillance video identified 26
This nigga killed a 70-year-old dude near a soup kitchen, man. What you in for, young brother? Yeah, I killed a 70-year-old dude at a soup kitchen. Like what gang? Like, could you imagine being part of a gang and shit? And they like, man, they need soldiers and shit to ride on the ops, and you blew your fucking load on this shit.
Right, like, look, if you're gonna do it, at least get the apps, man.
Man.
I mean, he's only 5'5". Give him some credit. He's got some shit to prove.
Yo, he is a short man though, short king.
Yeah, that's true, but
he got shit to prove.
Damn, man.
That's crazy.
6-year-old Dakari McDonald as the suspect. A witness followed him to his home, leading to a nearly 6-hour SWAT standoff before his arrest. McDonald faces multiple charges, including murder and illegal firearm possession as a convicted felon. City leaders say this case highlights the ongoing issue of gun violence, access to guns, and how firearms continue to end up in the wrong hands.
And we are not unique in Louisville. This is what happens in every neighborhood, in every city in this country, because we have more guns than people.
No, it doesn't happen everywhere, you jackass. It happens everywhere niggers are at.
Yo, I gotta say this, man, and I feel like I'm always saying it, but I gotta say it. Yet another behavior pattern of the brothers attacking the elderly. It's the damnedest thing, man.
Yep.
DNA.
Broad daylight too. Like no shame. No shame. Like don't care if somebody see you. Hey man, you fucking with that old dude, man. Fuck wrong with you, man.
I mean,
no shame.
How often do we see this shit? I mean, for someone that just hit the link, right? That means just hit the video, right? Never been on Knock Nation before watching this. How often do we see this same scenario? All the time.
This is the age of the crash out, man. I mean, that's the most accurate way to describe these YNs, bro. It's the age of the crash out.
Well, hold up. Let me push back on that. I believe it's always been like this. I don't doubt for 1 second that the brothers were always attacking the helpless.
No, I don't mean that. Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, so it's predator mindset, right? Predators always go for the easier meal. What I'm saying is now we got people who are crashing out in broad daylight. Like we used to try to actually make an attempt to get away with this shit.
Man, I don't know
It's
if you say so.
wicked. It's become mainstream. Like the term YN is like a mainstream slang term. It's
but that
basically a
imply-
son man.
But that implies that it's like a new phenomenon. It's not.
Well, it's in the collective consciousness, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. More so than it was
Crashing
before.
out is a new phenomenon. Crashing out is a new phenomenon.
Man, I have to strongly disagree, man. I feel like these dudes, again, we've always said it here, man, and you know this. The homicide rates were much higher in the good old days.
Nah, bro, that's not what a crash out is. All right, a crash out is loosely defined as somebody who it's like a crash dummy. It's a prison term. It's derived from that. It's somebody who just goes on a dummy mission. They don't care about getting caught at all. They don't try to get away with it. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, we've been killing.
For sure, but my point is that a lot of those homicides back when were crash outs. You know, they were. I mean, I don't know, but I could be wrong though. I mean, but I just don't see I think it's been like this. Been like this. You know what I'm saying, Chief?
Salute the bad dude, Corn Pop. He says, salute to you, to the panel, to the rest of our nation. Got an exam in the morning, so I'm out of here. Shout out to you, man.
Good luck.
Good luck, bad dude, Corn Pop.
Yeah, man.
Wrong hands.
And we are not unique in Louisville. This is what happens in every neighborhood, in every city in this country, because we
keep telling yourself that
more guns than people in the United States.
Hurden says this case highlights the urgent need for change in policy.
Until we change that, until we elect people who believe otherwise, I think that we're going to be in deeper and deeper trouble with gun violence, because it's just not going to stop.
Gay retard.
Smoketown, DeAndrea Turner, WLKY News.
It's not going to stop.
You hear how he just lied like that though?
Meanwhile, Baltimore,
in every neighborhood, everywhere in the country. Like, come on, man. Come on, man.
But I kind of agree with him. I mean, we see this everywhere. A brother attacking the elderly. We see it everywhere, and then a brazen attack at that. I agree with the dude. It just I don't agree with his where he ended at. You know what I mean? Like obviously I don't think it's a gun issue, but it is happening everywhere.
Gun violence isn't everywhere, man.
It ain't everywhere, bro.
It ain't never
Wicked, what are you talking about?
Oh man.
Look, is it fair for me to say that this scenario that we just saw is happening from sea to shining sea with the brothers?
But
Yeah,
that it just happens wherever the senior and the unman meet. If
but
they
that's
met
what
on
I'm
the
saying.
moon,
But that's what
That's
I'm
whatever.
not
saying.
what he said.
Yeah,
No. But he ended his destination was different from where I would end. But it's happening everywhere, dude. This scenario's happening everywhere. Where
He
the
said it's
brothers are
happening in every neighborhood, in every city. That's not true.
All
Look,
right, let's
man.
keep moving.
There's plenty of
Baltimore
safe
County police are
neighborhoods out there.
investigating
we'll see this
several
shit happen.
violent crimes involving juveniles. And as those investigations continue, so do the
YNs.
calls
This
for
shit too.
accountability from residents. In Baltimore County in recent weeks,
Kids, not being kids, no more.
kids have been top of mind for many, specifically a string of crimes involving juveniles.
Another unfortunate thing.
Here at this gas station on Joppa Road in Towson,
Caller advised his son was robbed with a gun.
a mother calling police about her son being robbed. The victim, not even in his teens.
Victim is an 11-year-old black male,
Damn.
glasses and hoodie.
Right.
Suspects described as
The victim is an 11-year-old.
What the fuck can you get from an 11-year-old from an armed robbery, bro?
Right, dumbass.
His Pokemon
Like you getting a
cards.
cell phone, and that's it.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. These
victim, not
YNs
even-
terrify me.
Maybe he had a daddy. Maybe he had a like a
Hey,
These
hey,
YNs
inside-
terrify me, bro, because
yeah.
And they smell your fear.
well, no, it's not that, bro. It's like, man, I've been around a little bit. Y'all might know who I am, whatever, bro. I'm just saying, like, this is a new emerging threat that people don't understand the gravity of how dangerous they are, bro. The younger they are, the less they fear death, consequences, and the less they value life, bro.
Yeah,
Hey,
consequences are nothing.
question from the Philly specialist, the Philly. Hey, is that old girl? She a 10 in Philly?
Oh, you talking about the red bone? Oh
Yeah.
yeah. She a waste of red, a waste of light skin, man. God damn, man. What a waste of light skin,
She a
man.
10. She a 10 in Philly.
Philly, a nigga smoke you over broad daylight. Salute to Barry B, man. Barry B in the building taking the challenge, man. Shout out to you, Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real VP, coming through once again. Salute to Eric S. Nation Hall of Fame coming through once again. Shout out to all you guys, man. Look at this beautiful waste of fucking light skin, man.
No more.
kids have been top of mind for many, specifically a string of crimes involving juveniles.
Another unfortunate thing.
Here at this gas station on Joppa Road in Towson,
Caller advised his son was robbed with a gun.
a mother calling police about her son being robbed. The victim, not even in his teens.
Victim is an 11-year-old black male, glasses and hoodie.
The suspects described as possible juveniles. The brazen crime has residents asking tough questions
Why would an 11-year-old be out that late at night?
and warning tough consequences.
They need to be held accountable. And
all the Philly dimes is out.
Yo, did you hear that? Why would the 11-year-old be out that late at night, man? They blaming the victim, man.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, hang on,
at some point,
no. The gunman was 11. That's what I heard.
no, the victim was 11. Listen.
In Baltimore County in recent weeks,
The gunman was 9.
Not being kids. No.
those investigations continue, so do the calls for accountability from residents. In Baltimore County in recent weeks,
Kids. Not being kids. No more.
kids have been top of mind for many, specifically a string of crimes involving juveniles.
Another unfortunate thing.
Here at this gas station on Joppa Road in Towson,
Caller advised his son was robbed with a gun.
a mother calling police about her son being robbed. The victim, not even in his teens.
Victim is an 11-year-old black male, glasses and hoodie.
The suspects described as possible juveniles. The brazen crime.
So the suspect's juvenile, the victim is 11. And this guy, I remember they kicked his son's ass the other day. This fucking white guy, he mad. He mad as shit. They kicked his son's ass.
Across town in Essex. This father still reeling after the vicious beating of his 12-year-old son.
was captured on this now viral video.
Do we wait until these kids turn 18 and they really commit the same crime except for kill someone? Then you got a dead person?
But at Lansdowne High School,
the individual appeared to be
Yes.
a younger individual.
the alleged shooter in the death of a 16-year-old, likely another juvenile. There's the suspect captured in
You
the
gotta see
surveillance
this footage.
image. Meanwhile,
Yo, that footage right there is crazy. It's online.
Are
He
you talking
walked
about
that.
his son getting his head stumped in and shit?
No, this one right here. This execution. This
Oh, I ain't
kid
see
walked up on that
Can
kid.
you show us?
Hell no. Headshotted him.
Hell
It's just
no,
like,
you can't show that shit on here. Come on, bro.
I ain't see
just
this.
go to Baltimore. Just go to Twitter. It's on Twitter. Just
I'm
like
a
Baltimore shooting.
okay. Hey, he said, well, we gotta wait till they're 18 for them to kill somebody. When they come to find out, sir, the ones that was head like stuffed in your son head in probably got 2 bodies.
I'm telling you, he got lucky. They see he was a white boy, so they were like, man, just whoop his ass. This shit crazy, man. These motherfuckers. Yeah, I mean, I get the whole fear of YNs. I just feel like YN's always been a problem. Always been a problem.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's just now they have a label.
Yeah.
What do you think that the reaction would be like on the news? We saw the silhouette, but it said juvenile silhouette. But what do you think the reaction would be if that silhouette had like dreads coming out of him?
Hey, that shit pisses like woke like black folks off, bro. I remember it was a silhouette of a black female shot that didn't have like a picture, like a arrest picture, and like the people in the like district, they had put like a picture like a silhouette of a black chick with like a long ponytail, and that pissed everybody off, all the black people off. I thought that shit was hilarious.
Wow.
You can't even at gun ranges. You can't even have. You got the targets with actual people.
Yeah.
On. You can't even have black people as targets without somebody.
No. They changed that a few years ago.
You can have white people. You can have women. Whatever. You cannot have black people as targets at your gun range. You're gonna get. It's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's
story.
racist.
Yeah, it's racist. Niggas they take.
Reporter Derek Rose.
They find the craziest fights to take up, man.
A Milwaukee police officer is in jail, charged with multiple federal crimes. Juwan Madlock is accused of obstruction of justice, possessing a gun modified to be used as a machine gun, and using police resources to help a gang target its rivals. Within the hour, Milwaukee police confirmed Madlock has resigned. Investigative reporter Derek Rose has the story all new this morning.
It's like
the
training day.
31-page complaint in federal court names District 6 Officer Juwan Madlock. According to the complaint, a search warrant targeting a convicted felon led investigators to an iPhone containing text messages between the felon and Officer Madlock. In one exchange, according to the complaint, Madlock offers advice on escaping a chase, writing, "I told you, if you ever get in a speed, get on that highway and just keep going. They gotta cancel it." The complaint describes another exchange as Madlock using a police database to provide the felon with the home addresses of rival gang members, writing, "Try Buffum. He's probably where he feels safe." The complaint also accuses Madlock of offering to sell the felon Glock handguns for the purpose of installing switches on the weapons. A switch turns a regular handgun into a machine gun, capable of spraying multiple bullets in a fraction of a second with a single pull of the trigger. The complaint even includes a photo of a Glock equipped with a switch discovered during a search of the officer's home. Investigators write Madlock acknowledged the gun was his.
That was Derek Rose reporting. Records show Madlock, who has nearly 10 years of service, has yet to face a judge in the case, and he has resigned from the department. In a statement, the Milwaukee Police Department said Chief Jeffrey Norman expects all members sworn in.
So he's absolutely correct when he told him, because there are certain jurisdictions out here, they will cancel pursuits if they get over a certain mile per hour. They will cancel them. I've been on those pursuits. If it's like 10, depending on where you are, if it's like 10, 20 miles over the speed limit, they will cancel that shit unless you know for a fact the person you're chasing murdered somebody. But we all know that the reason why they're running is probably not the reason why you're going to try and pull them over.
Mm. Mm.
and civilian to demonstrate the highest ethical standards in the performance of their duties and was extremely disappointed to learn about the misconduct in this case. It goes on to say that this is an ongoing and open investigation led by the FBI, and MPD is acting in full cooperation with this agency.
Yeah, dirty cop, man. Let's see what is going on.
Yeah, man. As you looking, man, I'm just gonna say, bro, we trying to get. I said we trying to get Trump to get all these NFA weapons off the list, man. We're trying to get silencers off the list, short barrel rifles. We're never gonna get machine guns off the list though because of these YNs with these fucking switches, bro.
I shot an AK at a gun range once, so you can get a automatic machine gun. It's so expensive.
So at the gun range, they have what's called a federal firearms license, FFL. So they pay, it's a lot of money per year to maintain that and have machine guns. So yes, you can per se get them, but it's not financially worth it legally.
A Milwaukee mother of 4 is dead tonight, and family members say someone shot her and her sister early this morning on the city's northwest side. Our Durante Matthews spoke with the family. He's in the newsroom to show if the family's pleased to the community and to the shooter tonight. Durante?
Yeah, Mary, loved ones of 33-year-old Bernicia Butcher tell me they're at a loss for words tonight. They say Bernicia was a loving, outgoing person who was taken too soon, and now they want the person responsible for taking her life to turn themselves in.
I'm numb. Can't stop crying.
It's a painful reality that's slowly seeking in.
I just miss my little cousin. She didn't deserve it. Not at all.
Loved ones of 33-year-old Bernicia Butcher says they're holding on to each other and a prayer hours after she was killed.
We don't understand it. It's really hard and it's real difficult.
Police say someone shot and killed Butcher just before 2 Sunday morning near 107th and Granville Road. Family members say it happened outside across from Bar 107 Sports Bar and Grill. Bernicia's family say she was at the bar but was shot in her car outside. Officers say a 30-year-old was also shot and taken to the hospital.
Female, 2 GSWs.
Loved ones say the second woman shot was Bernicia's younger sister, Brittany. They say the two were unproblematic and the shooting doesn't make sense.
She wasn't in no drama, no nothing. So for this to happen to her, it's just blowing our wigs back for real.
Family tells us Butcher was a mother of 4 who had owned her own daycare business. They say
a mother of 4 who owned her own daycare business. That's still hood rat. You know what I'm saying? There's a hood ties there. That's ready. I mean, I know it doesn't sound like it, but that's still like rat 4 kids. How many baby fathers? What the fathers are like? Daycare, black community, all dealing with all type of other ratchet ass bitches and their kids and conflicts over that shit. It's a lot of It's a lot of possible shit that could have been going on.
What men they're allowing around these kids at the daycare?
Yeah, just rattiness.
A lot of questions.
They say the 33-year-old was always smiling and loved to dance.
Just enjoying herself, being a beautiful hearted person, and for someone just to kill my little cousin is just real sad, and we need justice.
We went to the bar to speak with the owners, but the place was closed.
They always need
Butcher's death
justice.
has also touched people in the community.
I am
answers and shit.
Truly concerned of where do we go from here.
Now, with the future fuzzy and hearts heavy, Butcher's family is asking one thing from the person responsible for their pain.
We going through it, and it's hard not knowing who did it. So if you know you did it, turn yourself in.
And at last check,
It's usually
police did not
they
know
usually
who
say
they
like
were
we
looking
demand
for, but
justice.
told us the investigation is ongoing.
You know, it's like they put that sort of like a guilt trip on the gliders who's like doing the investigation and stuff. Like,
I mean, has anyone ever done that though? Like, you know, has anyone ever killed somebody? They saw the news story and they say, "Turn yourself." Has anyone ever done
Oh,
that?
it's happened like once, and it was a glider.
Sunturd don't do that. They don't do that. Hell no. Sunturd ain't doing that.
Maybe I'm melunging, you know, but not.
We don't roll like that, man. You got us fucked up. Mm. Wow.
Hey, any update on the Baton girl?
Nah, ain't no new nothing. She been charged, officially charged. So she's I guess it's gonna go through the court system. I think she's gonna be exonerated, man.
And apparently it's racist because she was charged, even though she hit a black girl in the back of the head.
Yeah,
I think it's just a misdemeanor.
You're usually you're always usually on point with those, but with that, I'm kind of surprised the take you took on that. Like
Yeah, I know people are.
Yeah, you said like she shouldn't be charged and she also didn't mean to do it.
No, from the back angle, I can see exactly what happened. The girl ran on the inside of her lane. The girl, the girl that's the attacker, she ran on the outside of her lane, and the girl who's the victim ran on the inside of her lane. The baton comes up, hits the girl on the upswing. You can see that from the angle from behind, but it didn't hit her. Like when she does like this, it didn't hit her. It didn't connect. It hit the girl on the upswing. That's when the girl felt it hit her head. Like when you're running, boom, it hit her on the upswing because they were so close together, and then she lost balance, and then she started flailing, and it looks like she's like trying to beat the shit out the girl, and the girl falls down forward, but none of those connected. But from the front, it looks like she just beating her upside the head with it, and the girl falls out. But from the back, you can see they never connected. The only time she hit her was on the upswing. And so, I mean, that's why. And listen, that's going to be in court. The lawyer's going to lay that out.
That's just not what I saw, though.
Yeah,
I saw her get hit in the head and then
the girl
fall
has a
over.
fractured skull and a concussion.
The girl going to have to prove she had a fractured skull. That's just what she said. The girl said it said concussion and possible fractured skull. That those medical records are going to have to be revealed in court. Like the girl could say anything. The girl could say the girl got hit with a baton. She's upset, and I'm not saying the girl shouldn't be punished. The girl should probably be suspended for the rest of the season. But this is a girl. This isn't a hood rat chick. This is a girl who's a 3.4 GPA on the track team. Never had any trouble in her life. It's not like it's some bitch that just be fighting every day in school.
So if you think it's an accident, then why do you think that she should be suspended?
Just to please the people, like because the girl did get hit in the head with the baton, and I know people want blood. Just give them that. People want blood. They want blood. They out for blood. But I'm gonna let the court system do it and then play out, and you guys gonna see. I don't really want to litigate it right now because everybody's against her, and I don't want to be like I don't want to. Everybody's seen different videos, and I don't want to.
Well,
so you think the
she
police
never
that
made
charged
any
her, you don't think
apology
they saw it?
attempt.
No, the girl blocked her. These people, they talk online.
That's bullshit.
No, this generation does everything online. She don't know that girl. They're not friends. They just.
You could ask the coach.
At the state, you
Well,
compete.
what about at the meet? She didn't apologize to her
Yeah,
during
it's
that
bullshit.
incident or at the meet?
Well, listen. I'm not gonna. I can't vouch for all of that. But all I can say is that the girl blocked her on social media.
No, I disagree with you, but you're right. Let's let it play out in court.
Because now that it's in court, we're gonna see. Like, you know what I mean? We don't have to argue it now because it's in court now. Y'all got what y'all wanted. Everybody wanted her to be charged. She charged now. So yeah, we'll just see. Like that, everybody wanted her to be charged.
I agree with that. Yes.
Guy in prison. Tonight, that is the hope from a mother to the 3 people who are responsible for her son's murder.
Last night at 6, we first alerted you to the guilty plea of Kurt Wallace, who now admits to murdering beloved DeSmet football
what is
coach
happening? Why is
Jazz
someone
Granderson
twerking
in
in the
2017.
screen?
Wallace also fessed up to other shootings and carjackings.
Too much.
Tonight, as we
This
now await.
is in the news.
Is
This
that
in
you,
the
bro,
news
or?
channel. No, this is somebody. This is not the news channel.
Oh,
This is
okay.
like
Oh my
somebody
God. Okay, all right.
else.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Guy in prison. Tonight, that is the hope from a mother to the 3 people who are responsible for her son's murder.
Last night at 6, we first alerted you to the guilty plea of Kurt Wallace, who now admits to murdering beloved DeSmet football coach Jazz Granderson in 2017. Wallace also fessed up to other shootings and carjackings.
Tonight, as we now await a sentence for the killer, Granderson's mother is speaking only to First Lord 4 Chief Investigator Lauren Traeger about her 6-year pursuit of justice.
A very free spirit, fun-loving.
27-year-old Jazz Granderson loved life.
Life of the
She's always
party.
smiling, just always full of life.
His mom, Rain Harris, says he was a natural athlete
He did. With everything in him, he loved football.
who loved being the assistant football coach at DeSmet High School.
It was his opportunity to give back.
But it was a senseless act, his mother says, that stole his life. Back in 2017, an acquaintance, Jerrica Dixon, lured Granderson to her home under false pretenses. That's when Floyd Barber and Kurt Wallace ambushed him. They shot and killed him and took his car.
They eliminated my ability to have grandchildren from Jazz. It's horrible. It's horrible.
It has been a long wait for justice. Charged shortly afterwards, Wallace escaped jail in 2019, further delaying the case. Authorities have pegged the 3 for 2 other shootings and multiple other carjackings. Now, all 3 have pleaded guilty. Wednesday, Wallace took a deal that could get him 60 years in prison. Harris says she didn't see any remorse.
Yeah, I don't feel like he was sorry. I feel like if he was able to be on the street, he'd do the same exact thing again to someone else.
Wallace's sentencing now set for December.
With everything in me, I hope that that judge says life. And if not, and he can only do the 60, I hope that he dies in prison.
After 6 years of waiting, Harris now hopes she's closer to closure.
They had no regard for life. None. And I have no regards for theirs. None.
She has been through such an unbelievable range of emotions, but she does want to lift up Jazz's name, make sure he's never forgotten. So she has a foundation that now helps ensure other kids can play football and that the families of young people are supported. We've got information on that foundation at KMOV.com and the KMOV News app. I'm Lauren Traeger. First Alert 4 investigates.
The other 2 defendants have also yet to be sentenced. Kurt Wallace's defense attorney says Wallace would be a very old man if he ever got out of prison.
He has a great deal of remorse. It's something that it's just sad that what he did, he's sorry for it, and he just hopes that it brings some closure to the Granderson family and the other victims.
And as Lauren reported, sentencing for Wallace is scheduled for December. It's recommended he gets 6 decades behind bars.
New at 6.
The man who pleaded guilty in the killing of a high school football coach is headed to prison for the next 60 years. A judge handed down that sentence to Kurt Wallace today. He admitted to shooting DeSmet coach Jazz Granderson during a string of carjackings in 2017. Wallace escaped from jail in 2019 and led police on a chase before crashing a stolen car. And right after the sentence, we sat down with Jazz Granderson's dad. Johnny Granderson is breaking his 6-year silence after a journey through grief and finding the power in forgiveness.
I can honestly say 6 years ago, I had a lot of hate in my heart.
For the first time since the violent carjacking that claimed Jazz Granderson's life, his father, Johnny Granderson, breaks his silence, sharing the raw truth of his journey to find solace amidst the unfathomable loss of his son.
I was so upset, and I was going through some things, and all I can say is that
time helped me move on and put me in the place that I'm in now.
Jazz Granderson was a former football standout at Kirkwood High School who went on to play at the University of Northern Iowa and Lindenwood University. As an assistant coach at DeSmet, he was known as a mentor, and hundreds attended his funeral. Years ago, he started a Christmas drive that distributed toys to hundreds of children, a drive that continues to this day.
If someone was to hear his name, just to say he always helped the youth in the community. That's what I want his legacy to be, and that's why I'm still doing what I have to do to keep his legacy going.
Despite the pain of his loss, Johnny Granderson finds solace in the knowledge that he is finding a path to healing.
And over the years, got me to the place that I am now. And
is it a place of forgiveness?
It is. It is. It is. I just hate that it took them to take my son's life to put me in the situation that I'm in now.
The sentence for the shooter was 60 years. Johnny Granderson thought it should have been life.
One thing about a hood rat from St. Louis, Missouri, is that she don't care about nothing. She don't care about herself. She don't care about her life. She don't care about her kids. She cares about nothing except getting her fix, her rush for the day. She's sitting around eating Popeye's chicken, smoking Black and Milds, on Instagram Live, Facebook Live, talking about who she is, twerking on YouTube, twerking on Instagram or Facebook. This is what she lived for. And this is what she died for oftentimes also. So it's unfortunate that a guy like Jazz Granderson had to find this out the hard way. People forget that when Jazz Granderson was killed, and this was a popular DeSmet football coach, went to college, went to University of Northern Iowa, went to JUCO before that. Afterwards, he went to Lindenwood University, did some trials for the Kansas City Chiefs to go into professional football. You know, people forget this was a good guy. This wasn't a street guy that got killed. Floyd Barber and Kurt Wallace, these kids are the ones who ended up robbing, carjacking, and killing Jazz Granderson, shooting them in the stomach and killing them. But a lot of people forget that Jazz Granderson wasn't called by Kurt Wallace, or he wasn't called by Floyd Barber. He was called by this hooker, this stripper, who was a stripper over at Pink Slip Bottom Up. She was calling up all her tricks, all the little dudes who was in love with her, and saying, hey, come over and meet me. Then when they showed up, they would get robbed and shot sometimes, or even killed in the case of Jazz Granderson, because she wanted to set guys up for her little boy toy, Kurt Wallace. You know, Kurt Wallace, her boyfriend, was only about 5'7", 5'8", maybe 150 pounds soaking wet. But he's pretty bad when he got a gun in his hand. He's pretty bad when he got a gun in his hand. Of course, so his girlfriend was his instrument for setting men up and robbing them. And in this particular case, killing Jazz Granderson. Very, very sad story. You know, in the end, guys, you know, Jerica Dixon, the stripper, ended up getting 228 months in prison. She's in federal prison right now. Kurt Wallace ended up getting he ended up getting 60 years in prison. So, you know, his girl that he was doing this for and doing this with, you know, of course, she'll be an old woman by the time he even thinks about coming out of prison, if he ever makes it out of prison. He'll be well into his 70s and 80s when he comes out. So this is a very, very sad case, but I'm very happy to see that she ended up going to prison. I think 18 years wasn't enough for her. She was a disgusting stripper from the east side, shaking her butt, smoking blunts, and the only thing she contributed to this life, to the society, was crime and drama and pain on people. Because she didn't have to call this guy up. This guy was a good guy, college coach, college athlete, a coach, high school coach, and she decided to get him robbed and killed for nothing. Probably don't even think twice or even feel any remorse for it. So it's pretty pathetic and pretty sad. And I really hope she burns in hell for what she did. Everybody, you know, makes mistakes, but these types of purposeful mistakes and incidents that people engage in is really no excuse for it. So I hope Jerica Dixon burns in hell. So this weed smoking, gun toting, nappy head stripper thought from the east side, from St. Louis, I mean, you know, while she's doing the next 18 years, I hope she has a chance to change her life. And it's unfortunate that Jazz didn't get a chance to, to become conscious of the ways of the world and realize there's treacherous people out there. I'm sure she offered him sex, come over to my house, because she was setting dudes up at her house. Come get some coochie. I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll toss your salad, all these great things.
God.
And these guys go over there and get shot and robbed or whatever. So tell me what you guys think. Do you think...
What do you guys think?
I don't want to look at this anymore.
I mean, I figured he would be with like a nice little glider chick, white glider chick, the way he was, carrying himself and successful like that. I'm surprised that he was hanging out with something like this.
Yeah. I mean, the black woman has so much power, man. They always have someone they can call to kill you. It's just uncanny how much they're the most protected. Black woman make a phone call. Black woman get some nigga. A white girl can't do that. A white girl can't call no white dude up and fucking. You could slap the shit out of a white girl. She can't call no fucking male in her family to come smoke your ass right there. 9 times out of 10.
It's a double-edged sword, though, isn't it? Because that same protection also most likely turns on them and kills them also.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard about it, Ak, but it was in Norfolk, ODU campus. Story was this guy's mother. I guess she got punched. She was working in the kitchen at ODU. Then she called up some YNs, and there was a gun battle. 2 people dead. One guy's in jail talking about he defended himself. I don't know if you heard about that, but yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't too long ago.
That was like last week, bro. I mean, if you want to check it out, bro. Yeah.
ODU?
ODU, bro. Yeah, it was a shooting. 2 people dead. ODU, Norfolk, Virginia, bro.
Was it a rolling gun battle?
No. So what happened was, allegedly, some guy's mother got punched. So she called her son. Her son came there, and his uncle, who was only a few years older than the son, came there. There was a gun battle. 2 people died. The son died, I think. Someone else died. The uncle, though, he's alive. He's in jail. I don't know. Fucking play the story.
We want to
go right now with breaking news.
And welcome to News 3 at 11. I'm Jay Green. Thanks for being with us. We are starting with that breaking news tonight out of Norfolk. Police saying 2 people hurt in a shooting near Old Dominion University. We want to go now to WTKR News 3's Leandra Head. Leandra, you've been at the scene for a couple minutes now. Where are you? What do you know? And what are you seeing so far?
Yes, Jay, I'm on West 49th Street here in the heart of Old Dominion University's campus. And so far, we know Norfolk police tell us that there has been a shooting here. So far, we know that at least 2 people have been shot. They've been taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Now, just a few steps away from me are dorm rooms, dining halls. Let me just step out of the way here just so you can see a look behind me. I've counted at least 20 police officers, probably even more here on the scene, but several officers here on the scene. An Old Dominion University spokesperson tells me that the suspect is still at large. Police are still searching for this suspect. Don't know where this suspect could be, where they are. And students are being told to stay indoors. And this is a very serious matter. I've only been here for about the last 12 minutes. Before I got here, my photojournalist, Jeff Ringrose, he tells me that he saw around 10 police officers run into this building right behind me. He says that they were running at a fast pace, and he tells me that they actually went up to one of the top floors of this building. Now, this was about 20 minutes ago, but, active scene here on the campus of Old Dominion University. Still working to learn so many details, but as I was coming here, several police here on the scene. Like I said earlier, the suspect.
So you said the. Okay.
Breaking news involving last night's double shooting on the campus of Old Dominion University. Police told us the men who were shot have died. This happened last night on West 49th Street near the Broderick Dining Hall. Let's get right to Tonight on Your Side's Karina Garcia, who has the latest. Karina.
Hey, Aisha, what makes this so alarming is that shooting happened right here on campus in this parking lot. This is right across the dining hall at ODU's campus. Now, it's devastating to report that the two people involved in last night's shooting have been identified as 18-year-old Delano Vick of Norfolk and Timothy Williams Jr. Also.
Delano Vick? Could he be related to Mike Vick?
No, he's not.
Okay.
20 years old out of Norfolk. We know two people were shot around 9:50 p.m. last night. Now, neither of these people are students nor affiliated with the university, but we don't know yet whether this was a targeted attack or a random act of violence. Now, the shooting immediately prompted ODU alert at 10:01 p.m., warning students of an active shooter.
They don't know. The news don't know shit. Let's see.
18-year-old Delano Vick Jr. and 20-year-old Timothy Williams Jr. died after a shooting in ODU Parking Lot 3. Now, in an exclusive interview with News 3's Erica Craven, the family of Delano Vick Jr. is sharing their side of the story and why.
Yo, there's legit an interview. You'll see him. He's behind bars. There's an interview he did, probably against his lawyer's wishes. He tells the whole story. The suspect who's in custody. Only one person is in custody. Both of the other assailants, they're dead.
Why they think their son should still be alive today. Erica. The family of 18-year-old Delano Vick Jr. told me he was a bright kid with big dreams. Now they're heartbroken, saying he was ambushed. They shared these photos of Vick Jr.
Why him? You know what I mean? It's unfortunate if anybody died, but when you have a good child, a good individual, a good person that's out here and their life get taken, it's devastating.
Heck goes. He's never been in trouble. He's not violent. He's not a gang member, anything like that.
Love animals, loved his mother, his brothers. He was a protector.
That love was why he was on ODU's campus that night. The family said the teen stopped in after he heard someone punched his mother.
My son called me and told me the police were up there and hoped that they would do their job and take the person away. And they didn't, and they left the person there.
They believe later in the evening their son stepped outside.
My son didn't have a gun. My son didn't shoot anybody.
He was shot.
Like I say, he's an innocent victim. He was a good kid, never been in trouble. And that's what he was, a kid. He was a kid.
The father told me another person was involved in the deadly shooting and we're working to confirm that information and the timeline of events. We've repeatedly asked police for clarification on suspects after officials shared there was no threat to the community late Wednesday night. Friday, they told us they are.
Damn. Damn. Yeah. That's crazy. I don't see no interview. You know. But yeah, man, that's crazy, man. Somebody punch your mama. I mean, Jesus Christ. My God, man. Mark Ishmael, man. You can have the final thoughts. What are your thoughts on this, Mark Ishmael?
Who you talking to, me?
Mark
No, you could go.
Damn, she bad as fuck. Who that girl in the green pants? Anyway, anyway, my thoughts, man. Yeah, it's your mom. You know, she hits you and whatnot. You're gonna go help her, but I mean, if she has time to call me, all right, how about this? My mom calls me up, says somebody punched her at work. Yes, I'm coming. But the problem is this, like,
are you killing though? That's the thing.
I'm not killing. I'm not killing. I'm gonna come make sure my mother is okay. I'll make sure when I get there, she's not still getting her ass whooped. And then I'm gonna summon as much glacier glider I have in my body to not smoke a nigga. So I understand it. I do, but as a concealed carry instructor, if you're carrying a gun, you cannot be the predominant aggressor. That's the rules, man. I mean, I can't escape that. I'm an instructor first and a sunman second.
Yeah, man.
Well, what do you do if your mom is picking fights and you got to tell her that she needs to stop getting into fights?
I have to tell her that she stopped getting into fights.
Problem solved?
No, because I mean, women, not just some women, man. My ex, man, used to get me in all kinds of shit, bro. Like she was a horrible driver. She used to cut people off and flick them off, and I used to have to tell her, like, baby, sweetheart,
don't do that. Don't do that.
No, I actually had to tell her. I was like, sweetheart, if something goes down, somebody you cut off, somebody you flick off, you cuss out, I'm the person, if they get out of the car and do something stupid, I'm the one who has to deal with it. So don't put me in that fucking situation.
That's why glider women are less likely to act this way.
Well, she was a glider, so that's why I said women in general.
Oh yeah.
Bro, have we talked, bro? I only date glider women. What's up, bro? Come on now.
Yeah, if it ain't snowing, he ain't going, man. Yeah, man.
Hey, bro, if it ain't gliding, I ain't riding.
I'm telling you. Yeah, man. We're gonna finish this. We're gonna pick up with this tomorrow, man. If you get that video that you said of the confession, try to find it so you can share it with me tomorrow. Okay.
Real quick,
I'll link it.
Go ahead.
Before you go, I want you to take this video in the back chat. Not now, but on your spare time, and just talk about it later on tomorrow. Yeah.
Let's see.
Hey,
all right, we'll do this tomorrow.
No doubt. Later.
All right, peace up. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask him a question, but he dipped.
Yeah, man. Same black time, same black channel. I'm out of here. Subscribe.
Thanks, Ock.